I'm so happy you're here. Come in. Welcome. Welcome to the Soul in Love podcast. I'm your host, Jamaya. And as y'all know, all of God's children are welcome here. This is our sacred space where we gather, where we pause, where we take rest together. Y'all know I like to set it out with the candles, sip some tea. I consider this like the entry into like Sabbath, right? That's how I think of this time that we spend together as a gift that God offers us, right? Which is rest. And so as we take rest and fellowship together, I want y'all to get cozy. I want you to be comfortable. I'm not sure if you're on your drive to work or if you're cleaning the house or if you're, I don't know, just looking for some entertainment or distraction from all of the noise that's been happening lately. But whatever your journey is, if you're able, pause with me for a moment and let's connect. Let's fellowship and let's feast on the goodness of the Lord. Y'all ready? Y'all, when I tell you it's been a journey to get to sit before y'all on this show, baby, it's been a journey. Your girl has been in a period of transition in so many areas of my life, right? So y'all know I started going back to work. Who knew returning to the office would shake up my schedule so much so to where I have to be up at 3 a.m. every morning in order to get to work on time, which my workday starts at 6 o'clock. I personally like to get there a little bit early. So part of this is my own doing, but I like to get there before the rest of the team so I have time to kind of like process and get into the flow of the workday. So I arrive to work somewhere around 5:10, 5:15, but my workday starts at 6 o'clock. So yes, in my 40s, I have become one of those. But yeah, so with my work schedule, because I changed my schedule to a 4:10 schedule, I am feeling like I'm at work more than I'm actually home because when you factor in the time for that drive, which is roughly about 45 minutes to an hour for me to get there, and then that drive back, which sometimes is roughly like an hour, hour and 10 minutes, depending on if there's an accident or traffic or whatever the case may be. So that's a transition. And then when I kicked off the podcast, I had hired a production team. And I hired a production team because I did not want to have to do this journey alone, right? I knew I didn't have the bandwidth to keep with the flow of the podcasting schedule if I was going to be the one, having to do the production and the editing and the posting and all of the things along with working full time while I'm building the Soul in Love brand. Like that just sounds like too much for any person to bear, especially this person. So I'm big on ensuring I don't overdo it because I've had my years of burnout and that's just not attractive to me. And so I try to create balance in my life as best I can. And so when the production team didn't work out, y'all, I was all the pieces. I was in this thing crying my eyes out, feeling abandoned, feeling like, Lord, did I hear you? Am I doing what you called me to do? And so basically today we're just going to catch up on all the things. I didn't want it to be yet another week of me not talking to y'all because I realized for me, I can ghost really quick. And it's not even intentional. It's just that I feel that I don't want to burden y'all with the messy parts, right? Like, I feel like when I come here, I just want to bring you value. I just want y'all to take away from our time together what the Lord will have you to take away through whatever message He gives me from His Word and from my, readings. But I realized that in this friendship, like there should be transparency. And so I don't want to just check in when I feel like I have it all together. I want to continue to communicate with you guys, even when I feel like things are falling apart, even when I feel like things aren't quite going the way I planned it to be in my handy dandy notebook, because that's what real relationships are based on, right? Like authenticity. I know in my journey as a content creator, a lot of what I share is like the things I'm comfortable with sharing. Though they're still authentic to my life, it's more so focused on like the good part, right? But in this journey, in our long format engagements and connections, I want to give you guys the raw stuff too. The y'all, I don't have it figured out, but the Lord is with me and He's helping as we walk through it. So that's kind of where I am when it comes to the podcasting piece, the um, building the production, like rebuilding it, because again, we hired a team initially. And when the team didn't work out, we didn't really have a plan. When I say we, I'm talking my husband and I. We didn't really have a plan on how we would move forward. But he came to my rescue and he's like, babe, listen, I don't know about all this stuff, but one thing about it, I'm going to figure it out. So you don't have to do this on your own. I am here to support you however I can. And we just going to trust God to do what He always does. So this man went and ordered all the equipment, the lighting, the camera, because I was like, oh, I don't want the podcast to feel like it's taking a step down because we don't have a team. I really want to maintain the quality of the podcast because, like I'm a stickler for stuff like that. Like I want to do everything with excellence, right? Like I want to bring my best foot forward and I want to bring you all my best effort. And so he was like, babe, it's okay. We'll figure it out. And as we grow, it'll just get better. It just gives us an opportunity to continue to get better. And so here we are. We're getting better. I want to give my love a huge shout out. Baby, I thank you so much for always being so supportive, for always being so loving, for always being so patient and kind. Not the fly, y'all. So, huge shout out to my husband for always being there for me. Not an attack of the fly. The devil is a liar. Babe, it's a fly, like just taking over the broadcast. And so, can we get the SWAT team in here? I think we need the SWAT team to take him out, babe. I think he gotta go. But anyway, as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted. Oh, don't worry about it. He's gone. As I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by this fly. I'm grateful for such a loving and supportive husband. I would not be able to do this without him, and the Lord knew that, and that's why He paired us together for such a time as this, because He always comes through. And so, yeah, that's kind of where I've been. That's why you all have not been seeing me, partly because my work schedule has changed. I'm doing 10-hour days now, which is really like 12-hour, 13-hour days. And I'm also working on building out So in Love. So I know you all see it as a podcast, but really it's so much more than a podcast. I can't wait to share what all So in Love is. But it definitely is a sacred space for women to gather, connect, commune, fellowship, and feast on the word of the Lord. And so all of that building takes time, it takes money, it takes effort. And so I've been working that piece as well as trying to figure out how to do the production and then having time to actually sit and plan the content while my daughter's in her senior year of high school. So we've got prom, we've got grad bash, we've got all of the things around that, which is the shopping and the quality time, right? That goes into preparing for these huge milestone moments. So yeah, that's kind of like where I've been. That's kind of like why you all haven't seen me. But I don't want to leave without sharing a little nugget, right? So I told y'all I was going through it. I told y'all that I was kind of all the pieces when the production team didn't work out. And when stuff like that happens, I tend to turn to the Lord. First, I cry and have a fit, right? So after I had my little moment, and even in that, we know that when we're in those moments of crying and confessing our frustration, right? We know that even that is a form of prayer, even that is a form of connection, right? And so um in this space, crying, praying, asking the Lord, Lord, why have thy forsaken me? You know, like, why have you called me to this space if you're not going to show up, you know, and support me in this space? Like, how am I supposed to do all of this? It's just me. I feel overwhelmed. I feel abandoned. Like, you called me to this, so you're supposed to make this easy for me. It's what I was thinking. Like, I thought, like, if God is calling me to do the podcast, then surely He's going to make sure all of the people and things are in position so that I can show up on my set looking and feeling like Oprah Winfrey, right? Like, the production is going to be so crisp and so clear, and I'm going to have all of the pieces of the puzzle laying flat to where it's going to just be an enjoyable, sacred experience for the viewers. And it's going to be pleasant because you and the Holy Spirit are in the midst of this thing, right? Because where the Lord is, there is peace, is what I had told myself. But I realize now part of that is my own doing, like me putting my own requirements in the midst of what the Lord has called me to do. And what I mean by that is I never like to look like I'm starting small. I never like to look like a beginner. I always want to look as though, especially when it comes to like content creation, I want to look like I'm that girl. Like, I've been doing content creation for 12 years. So I feel like I don't have the space to show up like a beginner would, because I'm supposed to be like an OG in this space. I'm supposed to be one of the, originals, right? But truth of the matter is, long format content is actually new for me. I have not done this before. And so because this is new for me, I need to give myself grace, and because this is something the Lord has called me to, I need to trust that it's not about the visuals. It's not about the production. It's truly about the word. It's truly about the connection. It's truly about the community. It's about you. It's about me. It's about us being pleasing to the Lord, being obedient in what He's calling us to do in this season of our lives. So we actually have permission in this season to ditch the perfection. Like, we don't have to strive for perfection. We just need to show up with the tools we have and trust that the Lord we serve, that He is going to make it enough. You remember that saying? Will make it enough. Yes, He will show up and He will make whatever we have, whatever skill set, whatever resources, He always shows up and He makes it enough. Okay. So, with that, I was listening to Preston Morrison's podcast. It's called The Leader's Cut. I found out about Preston through Megan Ashley, whom I absolutely adore. She's another Christian podcaster. And so I was going through this storm, this transitional phase, and I was feeling somewhat abandoned. I was questioning, whether or not I had truly heard the Lord when it came to starting this podcast and hiring this production team and basically I asked them for, confirmation. Y'all know I am the queen of seeking confirmation. If you don't know, baby, it's true. And so I said, Lord, I need confirmation on this thing, because if you were in it, why would it be so hard? Like, surely you would make it easy for me. But going back to what I was saying, this podcast revealed something to me that I didn't even want to see in myself, which was that I despise small beginnings. I don't like small. I'm a go big or go home kind of girl, right? So when I have to start small, like my husband was telling me originally, like, you've been content creating for a while. You have your one camera. Can't you just use your cell phone and sit down and record that way? Like, can't you do that? I looked at that man and I said, Sir, I'm doing this for the Lord. A cell phone camera ain't good enough for my God. I need to be 4K, okay? I need to be in 4K. I need it to be pristine visuals. And besides, I am not about to be burnt out doing this work, because I know better. I'm going to go and buy some time back by hiring a team of experts who will do this better than I can do this. That way I can get my shut eye, because sleep is important to the body, right? And I want to take care of my body. So I'm going to do this work of the Lord, but I'm not going to compromise my sleep while trying to do it. So we're going to go and hire a team. And then, y'all, not only was I to hire a team, you know, based on that discussion with my husband, when he was giving me like a sanity check a little bit, trying to reason with me, I'd also told him that I needed to build a podcasting studio, right? And I needed this studio to be built in 3 weeks. So we needed to call in some contractors. I wanted it to look like a reading room with all my books, and I wanted to have my record player. And I just wanted it to be a vibe for So in Love, right? And thankfully, I did listen to a part of the sanity chat when he told me, he was like, babe, you can literally sit on the couch. Like, you're going to make this to be so much more than it has to be when you can literally sit on the couch and talk to the people. And so I took a part of the advice, but I didn't take both parts. He wanted a bit, like, we compromised. I was like, okay, well, yeah, I won't build a studio, but I will hire a team, because there's no way I can do a podcast production without hiring a team. And this is what the Lord is calling me to. So we need to prepare our purses, our wallets, and get this team on deck. Now, in my mind, I was doing that for the Lord, right? That's what I was saying with my mouth. But honestly, it wasn't that. It was that I wanted to make sure the podcast I was doing looked like the Oprah Winfrey Show, like I said. Like, I wanted it to look like I had been in business for years. Like, I'm the expert podcaster, when really and truly, I'm on week 7. Okay. I'm still figuring it out. And when God brought me to podcasting, he did not require that the visuals be crisp. That's my own requirement, right? That's not something that he said I had to have. It's not something he despises, but it's not something he said I had to have. And so the whole idea of hiring a production team was more so about me, honestly, than it was about him. And so I think that is part of the reason why it didn't work out as well. And when I think about the podcast I mentioned to y'all, The Leader's Cut, there is this part, like this portion of the podcast where Preston starts sharing one of his experiences, one of his encounters that he had with God. And he talks about how the Lord had given him this image, right? And in this image, it's he and the Lord inside a really nice restaurant, like really nice chandeliers, the beautiful chairs, the ambiance, like it's nice, right? And he says, he's sitting there like, ooh, this is so nice that I know it's expensive. I know it costs to be in this establishment. And I don't know who paying for this stuff. Like, this is a lot for me to pay for. And so, because I'm looking at the menu and because I know these are all premium options on this menu, I don't even want to order off of this menu, is what Preston is saying. He's looking at it, and all he can do is count the cost of what it would take to be able to take part in the enjoyment that would come from partaking of a meal in this fine dining establishment. Now, across from Preston is the Lord our God Himself. And He's opening the menu and He is relishing. He is looking at the food choices and He has decided that He wants to order all of the things, right? And He is not bothered by the cost of any of those menu items, right? He's just having a time, a good old time, enjoying the experience, being in company, right? And so as he's looking in this menu, not only is he going to take part of all the things he desires, but he's also going to order dessert for everyone in the restaurant. And as he's letting the wait staff know, like, hey, not only do I want all these things, I also want to order dessert for everyone here. He says, Preston, you're looking like I'm about to sick you with this bill. You are looking with great concern as though I'm not going to pay the bill. However, I am going to supply all of your needs. I invited you here to this table to dine with me. Of course, I'm paying the bill. So when you are invited by me on a personal invitation, you don't have to question the how. Like, how am I going to be? Like, that's not for you to worry about. That's my responsibility. You just need to get yourself to the table. You just need to take the steps necessary to do what's needed. I will give you the strength. I will give you the financial resources. I will put you in place where you have the connections you need to accomplish the things I have called you to accomplish. I will take care of that. You just got to do your part. Man, when I tell you that hit me, that stung me because there were so many gems in this podcast that aligned to the very prayer that I just prayed moments prior to hitting play. Moments prior. And then here they go, Tim Ross and Preston Morrison having this conversation about new beginnings and the importance for us to cherish these new beginnings, to appreciate small beginnings, small starts, right? Like, you don't have to have it all figured out. You just got to show up. And the Lord our God, He will make it enough. He will take care of it. It is His bill. Now, one thing that he told Preston that really resonated with me is that, hey, as long as I ask you for it, as long as it is my request, I'm going to pay for it. As long as it's something that I'm calling you to, that is my bill to pay. But if ever it becomes a thing where you are operating on your own, then that is not my bill to pay. That will be your bill. And so we have to be really, really careful in this season of building, because I truly believe God has called so many of us to build something for His kingdom. in this season. And as you build it, be mindful of what He is asking for you. Asking of you. And then the things that you are requiring of yourself. Because it can get tricky, it can get really noisy. And so we have to stay at His feet. We have to stay in His word, and we have to trust His guidance and His timing. So I just wanted to catch up with y'all. I didn't want to only show up in this space where I feel like I have it all together, where I feel like I have the perfect outline, where I feel like I have the, um, um, the energy and the timing is perfect, the lighting is perfect, the production, like all the things are perfect. I wanted to show up in my imperfection as well. I have not had the most structure in my days that I would like to have. I haven't been getting all the rest I desire to get, but there are seasons, and sometimes when those seasons come, they require a little more of you. And so I'm having to learn how to navigate in this transitional phase. And some days are not pretty. Some days I'm very tired and I'm having to draw on the strength of the Lord. Um, and I know that this is temporary. I cannot wait for you all to see the things the Lord is allowing me to do in this season, the tools and resources that He is positioning me to share with you all in this season. This is a very sacred space that I'm creating for us all to gather in. And there's so much more to this sacred space. And so I look forward to sharing that with you all here soon in the Lord's timing, not mine. But I just thank y'all for showing up here today, for hanging out with me today. If there is anything the Lord is calling you to do, even if you feel like you don't have it figured out, go do it. Go do it anyway. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be His positioning, and He is going to do the rest, okay? Well, I love y'all. I am so in love with y'all, and I look forward to seeing y'all in the next episode. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe so you can stay connected with the So in Love community. And if you've been here for a while, continue to come back. I love it when you all check in. And I'll see y'all in the next episode. Onward in holiness. Mwah.